not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
Good night, and good luck.
Hey everybody, it's Friday, August the 8th, the year of our Lord 2025. And there are two evil men in this world who are codependent, two supremely evil men, one of whom is a sort of expected evil from his kind of character and background and perspective and persona and history. That's Vladimir Putin. The other evil man is Donald Trump. And the elephant in the room today is their codependency. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are meeting in just a couple days. I can tell you a couple of things about this meeting. The first is you should expect the very possible worst outcomes. You should expect the worst conceivable outcomes. You should expect outcomes horrific in their scope and nature. You should expect Trump to reverse course again on Ukraine. You should expect him to fall into Putin's arms. You should expect them to have a private meeting where he says, well, I don't need a translator because Vlad speaks really good English. And I, of course, am the best articulator of English ever. I read a very good googly. Sorry, I'm doing a sort of a combination Zoolander-Trump. Trump needs a change of topic desperately. His polling is crashing, folks. It is crashing everywhere. There's not a single group in which Trump is gaining support across all the demographics. The Epstein matter is a cancer eating him from the inside out. And I have to tell you, when Donald Trump killed the meeting that was going to be held at the vice president's house with Todd Blanche and Pam Bondi and J.D. Vance and Susie Wiles and Kash Patel, when he killed that meeting, I could sense a shift inside of the White House because the folks there needed an exit strategy for the Epstein story. They needed something. You know why he didn't want that meeting to happen? Because of his utter desperation. He's the best bullshitter you've ever met on one level. He can always talk the big talk, swagger, I'm the best, the biggest, nothing can hurt. He has been harmed by this for a month. It is bleeding him dry. The adults in the room really wanted a solution. But Trump doesn't come out with solutions. Trump's not about solving anything ever. He's about distracting you with another disaster. He's about blowing something up to say to you, look at the new thing that's blowing up rather than the old thing I just blew up. It's an old pattern. We've seen this. I've written about this for 10 years. This is an old pattern of Trump's. He does this all the time. What you have to watch right now, though, is the level to which he needs a bigger distraction than normal. He needs something truly cataclysmic to change the topic. Something where every reporter in the world goes, oh, fuck, and stops and turns toward it. My theory of the case, and I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong. I want this elephant in the room to be the one where I really blow it. I think he is going to go to Putin and he's going to collapse. Lift all the sanctions on the Russians. Agree to not fund Ukraine. Agree to stop any arms transfers to Ukraine. Why would he do that? Because it is so evil and it is so outrageous and it saves Putin. Putin can't win this war, but Ukraine can lose it. The minute Europe and America take their foot off the gas of supporting Ukraine with intelligence, with weapons, with finances, with support, is the day the war ends. Doesn't end immediately. They will make Russia earn every inch of ground. They will make them bleed for every inch of Ukrainian soil. But Trump so desperately needs an Epstein distraction. He so desperately needs to change the topic, change the subject, change the conversation, that I believe he will do anything at this point. Look at what he's gone through in the last month and change. We're at a 5-week mark right about today. Donald Trump has tried to change the topic 48 times. Went through the list the other day. 48 times. And that's everything from attacking Barack Obama and saying he's going to try to put him in jail, to walking around on the roof of the White House, to building an aircraft hangar-sized Imperial Whorehouse edition on the East Wing. All of this stuff, all of this chaos, all of this noise, every single bit of it has been about trying to get away from the Epstein story. And let's review the bidding. What has happened? He has sought out and sent his personal attorney, who is now the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, Todd Blanche, to see Ghislaine Maxwell, who is not stupid, by the way. She is evil, but not stupid. Blanche went in and asked her a series, I promise you, of very carefully couched questions. And because he and Ghislaine's lawyer are friends, I promise you there was a conversation somehow, some way, somewhere. Hey, buddy, I'm going to, ask her about the following things. So if she doesn't say anything about Trump, maybe, you never know, he might throw her a pardon. So he went there, set up this meeting. Within days, transferred her. And by the way, she is a convicted sexual predator, legally qualified to be transferred to a minimum security prison. But the White House, because it's not DOJ that orders it, it's not Todd Blanchard, Pam Bondi, the White House told the Bureau of Prisons, you will move her to the most comfortable women's prison in America. It is a club fed. Why is he doing this? He needs to stop the Epstein story, and he is offering her her freedom for the lie. Oh, Donald Trump never did anything. I never saw Donald Trump at all. Donald Trump is a gentleman and a scholar. Donald Trump is as someone jokingly today said, an elegant poet and a sophisticated dancer. None of it's true. She knows where the bodies are, perhaps literally buried. So Trump's desperation to stop this has failed over and over and over. It's failing right now. The numbers are so enormous of Americans who want the truth from the Epstein materials, who want to see the actual materials, suitably redacted from blah, 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 blah. You know the story. It's not in the 40s or the 50s or the 60s or the 70s. It's in the 80s. 80% of Americans don't agree on shit. 80% of Americans don't agree what day of the week it is. 80% of Americans couldn't agree that fried chicken is delicious. 80% of Americans don't agree on anything, and yet they agree that Donald Trump is a part of Jeffrey Epstein's secrets. 80% of Americans think that you're lying about something. There's a good chance you're fucking lying about it. Now, Donald Trump, in his desperation to change the subject, in his desperation to get out of this hole, in his absolute panic and terror that this is the thing that is eating him alive, and this is the thing that will destroy his presidency, and this is the thing that will break his hold over the MAGA party, he's right. It is breaking his hold over the MAGA party. It is breaking his hold over his people that he has commanded with this hypnotic power for a decade. The MAGA base is furious. And it's funny because there's nothing these guys like better than to figure out some lib-owning rabbit to make the press chase. They've been putting them out there over and over and over. Nobody's taking the bait. And normally there's a sort of organic machine around Trumpism. And I'll explain it as quickly as I can, but you'll see this in a chapter in my new upcoming book. This ecosystem in the MAGA world, the top of the pyramid is Fox News. That is where a group of people in what is called Rupert Murdoch's brain room, you can look it up, they come up with themes and messages that the Fox News hosts go out and read on the air. Joe Biden's auto pen. Barack Obama made up the Russia hoax. All this bullshit. You've seen it for decades, since 1996. That trickles down into podcasting world. MAGA podcast world is very large. MAGA talk radio, it's still very influential out there in the country. A lot of you don't see it, feel it, hear it, but it is out there in the country. And it trickles down into Facebook groups and Telegram groups and Discords and Twitter, and it becomes meme. And then it goes to the sort of MAGA influencer class and the wannabe MAGA influencer class, who are more important in this story. So all these people have been exhausted by this top-down 47 times trying to change the subject. They're exhausted by it. It's gone from Fox out into the social media and talk radio and podcasting influencers, and they keep trying to get the wannabes to echo it. Those wannabes are now saying, no, we want to know what's going on. We want to see the Epstein materials. Why is Trump lying to us? Why did Trump promise this to us, and now he's lying to us? So to go back into that ecosystem one more time, all those wannabes are the guys you see on your Twitter feed all the time. You see in social media all the time. Why don't you, the libtard cunt? You know the story. They're the echo machine. They're part of this hate machine of Trump's world. But those people who are slightly larger than the random Facebook uncle, those people are among those folks that are the most pissed off about Trump hiding the Epstein material and covering this up. He has broken his own highly effective communication system by lying to them and gaslighting them and bullshitting them and trying to change the subject on them when they've said it over and over. We want the truth. We want to see the materials. So why is he so desperate? His polling has crashed. His base is fractured. The communications machine that has been such an amazing adjunct to all of his evils is broken. They can't stay on message. They just can't. They tried so hard, so many ways. Autopin, Tulsi Gabbard, the Timu Corella DeVille going out with her bullshit, Russia hoax. It's all failed. It's all broken. I'm shocked Donald Trump hasn't like dragged an immigrant child out onto the White House lawn and let Stephen Miller drink its blood to change the subject at this point, because he's desperate to change the subject. So why is he going to do something stupid with Putin? Because that would fundamentally change the subject. That would be something that would fundamentally make the world and America go, you mother, what are you doing? So this meeting these meeting that these two guys are inevitably going to give each other a tongue bath at is very simple. For Putin, it's existential. Putin is out of gas. His economy has crashed. He's throwing meat wave after meat wave of his people into Ukraine, and they're dying. Ukraine is not gaining background, but they ain't losing it at the pace that Russia needs them to lose it at either. They are both involved in a massive drone war. Ukraine has taken the war into Russia, deep into Moscow and St. Petersburg, deep into the Russian production matrix of the things that keep their war machine alive. I will not be shocked if Putin goes into that room and says to Trump, Donald, you know what we have about you. You know what I know. You're my friend, but I don't want to show that stuff. You know what I'm talking about, Donald. Now, Trump, because he is a degenerate, because he is a guy who for a very, very long period of his life would screw anything that moved. He may not remember what it is, but it may be a thing. He may remember vaguely some underage girl, some other thing. Putin is a great card player. I can imagine that moment so easily. You can hear it, you can see it. You know, they're alone in a room together because Trump does not trust anybody when it comes to dealing with Putin. Even back in Helsinki in the first administration, there was something wrong with that meeting. Trump came out of there following Putin like a dog. Head down, body language slumped over. Putin striding out like he owned the goddamn world. I think Putin is going to lay it on Trump hard. And I think Trump, both from a feeling of incipient guilt, maybe not incipient, perhaps, long term, and from a desperation to change the subject, from a screaming freak out desperation to change the subject, he's going to lose it. I think he's going to lose his mind. And I think he's going to say, whatever you want, boss. You should not think of this as a summit between two world leaders. You should think of it as a quarterly report to the Home Office from Donald Trump to Vladimir Putin. These two men need each other in a weird, horrifyingly codependent way. They are both evil men, and don't make a mistake about it. Don't make a mistake about it. They are comparably evil. They're evil for different reasons and in different ways. But this is a world where evil men have often made alliances. This is a world where evil men have often done evil things. Hitler and Stalin before World War II. To wit, the Axis. To wit, the Wahhabis and Bin Laden and the Saudis. Evil men do evil things. Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin are both evil men. This summit, I think, is going to be an opportunity for some enormous evil. And again, folks, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be wrong, unfortunately. Trump, he has been one consistency in Trump's character his entire time he's been on the public stage, from 1987 until today. That is that Donald Trump has always put Russia first. He has gone to Russia and then come back in the 80s writing, this is during the Cold War, writing glowing stories about how America was stupid and Russia was smart. He has always taken the pro-Putin, pro-Russia stance during his time in public life. Always. Every time. No matter how many insults and lies and abuses Putin has shoved in Trump's face, and no matter how much deliberate slaughter of civilians Putin is engaged in mockery of Trump, Trump has always come back to kiss his ass. That's what's going to happen in this summit. It's dangerous, and these men are both evil, and that, my friends, is the elephant in the room.
Good night and good luck.